field in Chicago. The board, Tommy Lasorda looking on here in the top of the first inning. Cal Daniels with a short pop-up into short left field. Domingo Ramos from his shortstop position comes over and makes a nice diving catch for the out. Move on now to the bottom of the first inning. Andre Dawson comes up to the plate, and Dawson will hit a single off the glove of second baseman Juan Samuel. The ball goes into center field. Mark Gray scores, RBI number 58 for Dawson, and the Cubs lead it 1-0. In the bottom of the second, Dave Clark will come up to bat, and he will hit a single back up the middle through Tim Belcher's legs. Domingo Ramos scores, RBI number 8 for Clark, and the Cubs lead it 2-0. The very next batter would be Ryan Sandberg, and he will come up and hit a double to the wall in center field. Steve Wilson will score, RBI number 59 for Rhino, and the Cubs lead it by a score of 3-0. Tim Belcher not a happy man, as we'll see in the bottom half of the inning, as he takes out his frustrations as he slams the bat and then chucks it, as Tim Belcher would not be a happy man today at Wrigley Field. Moving on now to the top of the fourth inning, Cal Daniels comes up and he will hit a double to left field. This brings home Kirk Gibson, RBI number 44 for Daniels. The Cubs lead is trimmed to 3-1. But that would wind up being the only Dodger run scored on the day, as Cubs starter Steve Wilson would pitch a fine ball game, striking out 10 batters, and he would get help here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Dave Clark with a solo home run to left center field. Home run number 2 for Clark. The Cubs lead it 4-1. They go on to win it by a score of 5-1. Steve Wilson will get Hubie Brooks to fly out to end the ball game, as he pitches a gem of a ball game, allowing just 6 hits and 1 run while striking out 10 batters. Here with the final out, as the Cubs win it 5-1. Wilson ups his record to 3-5. Tim Belcher with a loss. His record drops to 7-7.
Park on Sunday afternoon sees the conclusion of a 4-game series between the Royals and the Red Sox, 1-0 KC. In the bottom of the second inning, 2 on and 2 outs when Kevin Romine doubles down the right field line. Ellis Burks trots home, RBI 11 for Romine, and it's 1-1. In the bottom of the third inning, Tom Brunansky would unbreak the tie as he'll double to the right center field gap off of Brett Saberhagen. Carlos Quintana will round the bases from first base, comes in to score, RBI 36 for Brunansky, and that gave the Red Sox a 2-1 lead over the Royals. Top of the fourth inning, Gerald Perry, who went 7 for 9 in yesterday's doubleheader, gets a double over Tom Brunansky's head in right field. Bounces off the top of the bullpen wall. Jim Eisenreich scores. 2-2 is the score. RBI 40 for Perry. He later scored on a double play to make it 3-2 KC. Bottom of the fourth inning, Mike Greenwell with his first SNS home run of the year as he hits to the right field off of Brett Saberhagen. His other 2 home runs came against the Oakland Athletics on April the 27th, a game we did not carry, so in essence it's his first home run for SNS, but his third of the year, and it's tied up at 3 apiece. Saberhagen left after the fourth with a sore elbow. 4-3 in a sac fly in the top of the sixth inning. After a walk and 2 stolen bases by Gerald Perry, he scores on Bill Bacota's squeeze play. 5-3 KC, 6-3 after 6. They score 6 in the top half of the seventh inning, capped off by George Brett's double to left field just short of the wall. Kevin Seitzer and Kurt Stillwell score, RBIs 32 and 33 for Brett, and it's 12-3 Kansas City. They swap runs to make it final of 13-4. Steve Crawford, the winner, is 3-1. Dana Kicker, the loser, is 2-4.
Sunday afternoon baseball action from Yankee Stadium in New York. There's Deion Sanders and Mel Hall laughing it up during the national anthem. Yankees trying to avoid being swept by the White Sox. Pick up action in the top of the second inning. Ozzie Guillen with a single to right. Dan Pasqua scores, RBI number 29 for Guillen, and the Sox lead at 1-0. Then the top of the third inning, Ron Kittle with a stand-up double to the wall in center field. Von Calderon will score, RBI number 42 for Kittle, and the Sox go on top by a score of 2-0. Move now to the bottom of the fifth inning. Steve Sachs will come up. Sachs will deliver a single into center field, scoring Leyritz and Espinosa. RBIs number 19 and 20 for Sachs. The game is tied up at 2 apiece. This coming off starter Eric King. Still in the bottom of the fifth, work up 3-2 now. Matt Noakes comes up and lines a single into right field, delivering Sachs home from third. This coming off reliever Ken Patterson, and the Yankees lead at 4-2. But in the top of the sixth inning, Sammy Sosa comes up and bloops one into right field. Pasqua and Ventura score. This coming off Alan Mills, RBIs number 37 and 38, and the game is tied up at 4 apiece. Then after an error in a single, makes it 6-4 in favor of Chicago. Yvonne Calderon comes up and doubles to center field. Lance Johnson scores, RBI number 42 for Calderon, and the Sox lead at 7-4. They go on to win this one by a score of 8-5. Ken Patterson with the win, his record now 2-1. Alan Mills takes the loss, his record drops to 1-3. Bobby Thigpen, his league-leading 30th save.
Baseball action in Baltimore on Sunday afternoon. The Orioles host the Minnesota Twins. And in the top of the first, Kirby Puckett would stake Minnesota to a 3-run lead as he hits his 11th home run of the year. This off Orioles starter Bob Milacki, and Minnesota with a 3-0 lead. In the bottom of the first, the Orioles come back with 1 run as Randy Milligan doubles down the left field line. This would score Phil Bradley to make it a 3-1 game. But in the top of the second, the Twins would score 3 more times as the Orioles would never again be close in this one. Here it's Al Newman with a double to right center field. Watches right fielder Brad Kaminsk and center fielder Mike Devereaux collide. Shane Mack scores to make it 4-1. Kaminsk is shaken up but would remain in the game. Still in the top of the second, Puckett would hit his second home run of the game, 12th of the year, again surrendered by Milacki. This makes it a 6-1 game. Puckett 5 RBIs in this contest. Then in the top of the third, the Twins again go for the long ball with Paul Sorrento on first base. This is Fred Manrique, who hits his 5th home run of the year. That makes it 8-1. Kent Herbeck would later add a home run, and the Twins would go on to win 10-3. Alan Anderson gets his first win since May 14th as he warms up here to Kirby Puckett. Anderson now 3-12 this year, while the Baltimore loser Bob Milacki falls to 4-6. Tiger manager Sparky Anderson looking to become the 10th manager in Major League history to win 1,800 games on Sunday as the Tigers host Texas. Steve Searcy makes his first start of the year, and he would strike out 6 Rangers in 5 2/3 innings of work. Here he gets Julio Franco in the top of the first. Texas manager Bobby Valentine warms up his pitcher Mike Jeffcoat, and in the bottom of the first, Alan Trammell delivers this single to left field. However, it's Pete Incaviglia who comes up throwing, and he would nail Travis Fryman at the plate trying to score. But in the bottom of the second, Detroit finally would get on the board as Darnell Coles would deliver this double, and that would score Chet Lemon to give Detroit a 1-0 lead. Texas comes into this game winners of 7 straight as they took the first 3 games of this 4-game set. But still in the bottom of the second, Detroit would add some more runs as it would be Mike Heath who would hit a 2-run home run, his 5th of the year. It comes off Jeffcoat, and Detroit with a 3-0 lead. That would be all the runs Detroit would score on this Sunday afternoon. There'd be some nice defense in the bottom of the third by Texas left fielder Pete Incaviglia. With John Shelby at the plate, he hits this shallow fly to left field, and Incaviglia on the run makes a beautiful diving catch. Texas scores twice in the top of the 6th with the score 3-1. It's pinch hitter John Russell who hits this bouncer to third base. Fryman's throw pulls Lou Whitaker off the bag as Mike Stanley scores. This play ruled a base hit, and that makes it 3-2. But that's the final. Mike Henneman pitches the 9th inning, and he induces Rafael Palmeiro to hit into the game-ending 4-6-3 double play with a tying run at second base. As Detroit wins it 3-2, Searcy, the winner, is 1-0. Jeffcoat, the loser, is 3-4, and Henneman picks up his 18th save of the year.